Okay, so recently had to go through some medication adjustments and didn't have my phone with me, medication adjustments, seizures, face plants, electronic devices. Yeah, not a good thing. So I did have sheet music and my composition book with me. So I was writing out different what I wanted to do to the Christmas album. And I hit writer's block with Jingle Bells, so I moved on to a bunch of different stuff. And right now, I got Silent Night right in front of me. So I already uploaded the pardon me, Music XML and MIDI. I ran that through ScanScore and uploaded that. But so the basic files were there, so you guys can uh, see what we're gonna go through now. Forgive me, my absent seizures are giving me heck a little, and I am hurting very badly. Um, my shoulder is really bad. My back is really bad right now. Um, so I am just in a. It's later in the evening, so I'm in a lot of pain. So this is Wilbur's really helping out with this. Going to run through Silent Night. Actually, just a very basic rundown on it. So, but you guys could see how this is helpful, especially when I'm in this good shape and having to move and deal with the mouse a whole lot, or just sitting is very uncomfortable for right now. So, let me get Wilbur loaded up. So make sure mic's going, mic's on. Um, Wilbur, you there?
I'm here and I've got the Wilbur style rules ready to go. We're locked at 87 BPM and I'll only move forward on your exact instructions. What would you like to do next?
Okay, awesome. You've got the BPM already locked in. Now, one thing I do need to add the chord progression in. I have not given you that. It is a very basic chord progression, and we're going to start on the first measure. And the first chord is going to be an E chord, and it is going to last four measures. Then we are going to go to a B7 chord for two measures. Then we are going to go back to an E major for two measures. Then we are going to an A major chord for two measures, E major chord for two measures, A major chord for two measures, E major chord for two measures, B7 chord for two measures, E major chord for three measures, B7 chord for one measure, E major chord for two measures. And that is the entire chord progression for this piece.
Thanks for laying that out. I've got the full chord progression structure in mind now. When you're ready to assign it to specific synths or request any harmonic operations, just let me know. I'll follow your exact next step.
Okay, we also do have the Waldorf Iridium working. Me and Logan got it worked out. We've got some different tweaks we did to it. We had to disassemble it and reassemble it. So you do need to add a MIDI track for the Waldorf Iridium also to the output.
Got it. I'll factor in a dedicated Iridium track. Just let me know what role that synth plays, melody, harmony, or something else, and we'll slot it right into the structure.
Okay, it will be playing melody, harmony, bass, and pads.
All right, so the Iridium will be quite versatile. When we assign parts, we'll just need to decide which sections go to each role, melody, harmony, bass, or pad. Once you're ready to break that down or assign sections, we'll place it precisely.
Okay, on this piece, when you look at instrument one and instrument two, we are going to go ahead and transpose to the bass clef.
Just to confirm before any action. For instrument 2, when we transpose to the bass clef, are you envisioning a specific octave shift as well, or should I just ensure it sits comfortably in a typical bass range? Let me know if you have a target octave, or if I should just use a natural bass register.
I want you to just use natural bass register and just transpose it directly to everything down an entire let's see, one octave. I'm gonna say drop everything two octaves
Understood. I'll transpose instrument 2 down exactly 2 octaves, so it naturally fits a bass register. No other interpretation, just a clean 2 octave drop.
Okay,
Once done, I'll confirm before we move forward.
instrument 2 is going to go to the Mini Burt 2, the Wasp Deluxe, the Pro 1, the TD3. It will also have a track to the Novation Summit, the Iridium Hydrosynth, and the Integra 7.
Alright, I'll create a track for instrument 2 on each of those synths, all transposed down 2 octaves. Since some of those synths have monophonic constraints or range clamps, I'll double check for any out of range notes and clarify if adjustments are needed. Let me know if you have a preference for how to handle any out of range notes, or I'll ask before finalizing.
If the notes are out of range, move them into range. If they are if they are above, move them down into it. If they were below range, move them back up into it.
Perfect. I'll clamp any out of range notes by shifting them into the synth's playable range. Down if too high, up if too low. Once I've done that mapping, I'll confirm exactly where everything sits. Let's keep it moving smoothly.
All right. Instrument 1 is going to be routed to the Integra 7, the Hydrosynth, the Summit, the Iridium.
Got it. Instrument 1 will have tracks routed to the Integra 7, Hydrosynth, Summit, and Iridium. Since those synths all have full range, no clamping will be needed. When we're ready to apply the chord progression or melodic content, we'll shape it across these tracks.
Okay. Now, when we do the chords, their chords are going to be broke down into pads and also chords. Now, I want those two separate tracks.
Understood. We'll split each chord. One track will handle a harmonic pad, and a separate track will handle the chord's more defined structure. Once we apply your chord progression, we'll route each chord set to these two distinct roles across the assigned synths. Let me know when you want to place them.
Okay, the chords and pads will go to the Novation Summit, the Hydrosynth, and the Iridium.
Perfect. So both the chord structure track and the pad track will be assigned to the Summit, the Hydrosynth, and the Iridium. Once we implement the chord progression, I'll ensure those three synths each get those two distinct tracks. We'll be ready to go when you are.
Okay. All right, we are looking good so far. Now, here is how I want the song format laid out. Now,
Whenever you're ready, just let me know how you'd like the song structure. Whether it's sections, repeats, or any specific arrangement, I'll map it out exactly as you envision.
okay. Now, the first playthrough, I wanted just the pads and chords. No instrument 1, no instrument 2 MIDI. So the first playthrough is just the chords and pads. One playthrough.
Got it. The first pass through the progression will be just the pads and chord tracks. No instrument 1 or instrument 2 playing yet. After that, we'll layer in the others as you direct. Just
Okay.
let me know what happens after that first round.
All right. After the first round, we're going to add in instrument 2 with the pads and the chords.
Understood. So after that initial round with just pads and chords, we'll bring in instrument 2 alongside them. The structure's building up smoothly. Let me know what comes next after that.
After that, we pull instrument 2 back out and it goes back just to the pads and chords.
Got it. After that second round, instrument 2 steps out again, leaving just the pads and chords once more. It's a nice ebb and flow. Let me know if there's another twist or if that's the whole form.
All right, next we bring back in, and the next one it's instrument 1 and 2 along with the pads and chords.
Understood. So the final round brings it all together. Instrument 1, instrument 2, plus the pads and chords. That'll give you the full layered finale. If that's the structure, we've got a complete roadmap. Let me know if you need any other details before we dive in.
Next, we pull instrument 1 and 2 back out. It goes back just to the chords.
Got it. After the full section with everything, we strip it back again. Just the chords, pads, and chord tracks on their own once more. It sounds like you're crafting a dynamic ebb and flow. Let me know if there's anything else.
Then we go back again and we bring in instrument 1 and 2 for another full section with the chords and pads.
Got it. After that stripped down section, we build back up again, bringing instrument 1 and instrument 2 back in with the pads and chords for another full section. If that completes your format, we're ready to implement.
And then we have a final one where it's just the chords and we slowly fade out the chords in sections and the pads and we fade them out in sections as the outro.
That sounds like a great wrap up. So after the full section, we finish with just the chords, gradually fading out both the pads and chord tracks in steps as the outro. I've got the full structure now. Whenever you're ready to execute any specific part, I'm here to assist.
That will be it, and then I just need the MIDI exported out so I can import it into my DAW and start setting it up to all the synthesizers.
Absolutely. Before we export, let's do a quick surgical summary of what we've set up. Confirm it's all exactly as you need, and then I'll output the MIDI for you. So just one last confirmation before we lock it.
Sounds good. Let's hear what you got.
Here's the summary. We locked the tempo at 87 BPM. Instrument 2 is transposed 2 octaves down and mapped to the Mini Brute 2, Wasp, Pro 1, TD3, Summit, Iridium, Hydrasynth, and Integra 7. Instrument 1 is routed to Summit, Iridium, Hydrasynth, and Integra 7. Chords and pads go to Summit, Hydrasynth, and Iridium. The structure flows from just pads and chords, then adding instrument 2, then back to just pads and chords, then bringing in instrument 1 and 2, and finally fading out the chords and pads. If that's all confirmed, I'll go ahead and export the MIDI.
Remove Hydrasynth from instrument 2, the Hydrasynth I do not use for bass.
No problem. I'll remove the Hydrasynth from Instrument 2's assignments. Instrument 2 will still be on the other synths, but not the Hydrasynth. With that tweak, if everything else is good, I'll prepare the export.
Prepare the export.
All right, I'll generate the MIDI exactly as we outlined. Once it's ready, you can bring it straight into your DAW and route it to your synths. Let's do this.
Thank you, Wilbur. So, I'll see how the files turn out and if he's got any questions. And we will see how it turns out.